Well, every morning when I walk the dog, I always make a right, and there's these three beautiful pine trees in the Arizona desert. And I'm just astounded at how beautiful they are and awesome. And how in the heck do they grow in the Arizona desert? So I take these pictures and I'm like, I want one of these trees in my front yard. Our lemon tree of 30 years died after giving a great amount of lemons over a 30-year period. So I took these pictures and I went down to the Serrano nursery on Highway 95 and asked the guy, hey, can you tell me what kind of pine tree this is? And he looks at it and he goes, where do you live and where is this tree located? I said, it's up in Bullhead City, up in the Pegasus Ranch area, Sunridge Estates. He looks at me and says, oh, that's a Mondell Pine. You can go down to Star Nursery and pick one of those up and plant it in the front yard. I'm like, great! How do these things grow in the frickin' desert? Well, they do. At least I thought they did. So I got to work, started digging a hole, and did a drainage test, and thought, wow, this is gonna be awesome. I picked up my new tree at Star Nursery in Fort Mojave for only $9.88. I think it was like $10 or something like that on sale. It was a great deal. I was stoked. I waited a couple days, and on July 22nd, I planted the pine tree at 3 feet, 5 inches tall. It was thrilling. It was going to be remarkable. Completely awesome. Pine trees that grow in the desert in 120 degrees. It was going to turn out to be a lot less awesome than I could ever have imagined. Oh, I see. It's a Mondell Pine. They grow fantastic in the desert region out here. Transplanted the Myers lemon tree. It just wasn't growing in this location. The other one, the Eureka, was right about here. It lasted 30 years and died. And the Myers was in the ground right in this location for 8 months. And I'm just doing a drainage test. The water's off. See how long it takes for it to drain. Then I'll transplant that bad boy here. It'll look great. It's in the ground. It took 20 minutes for the water to drain. I'd say more like 15, but I added an extra 5 just because I wasn't watching it. It was taking too long. Pretty cool though. That's what's happening out in the Arizona desert. Well, I certainly was misled. This Mondell Pine just shriveled up and died. Only took 25 days. Purchased it on July 20th at Star Nursery. Planted it on July 22nd. It was 3 feet, 0.5 inches tall. And I even made a cover for it. A shade cover. Nah, these things don't do well, I don't think, here in the desert. And it must have something to do with the soil and the heat. I wasn't guided in any way on how to plant it, when to plant it. Just told that, hey, these do great in the desert. Oh, do they? Great! Went and planted it. Took a lot of work. Did a lot of research online. Nothing online said do not plant in the desert during the summertime. So I'm guessing that you can't plant these trees during the summertime, and I wasn't advised when I purchased it. So I'm really upset because this thing shriveled up and died, and there you go. Now I got to take everything apart and start over. Well, that's the Mondell Pine in the desert. Transplant shock of the Mondell Pine tree in the Arizona desert in the summertime.